Make sure you have your stim packs and rad-ax ready, because we're heading into the Wasteland. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 2 of Fallout. Episode 1 was fantastic, a really strong start, really got us in the mood with some awesome iconography and just a lot of great story and character stuff. The cold open last time was amazing with Walton Goggins and the bombs dropping. It was so good. But once we got into the main meat of the story, focusing on our three characters, it was just really cool to see. Lucy is just an absolute sweetheart so far. Ella Purnell doing a great job. And really selling kind of this young, naive, cutesy vault dweller who doesn't really know what she's doing. She has a lot of skills in terms of combat, in terms of fixing things. She was on that pipe association or whatever she called it. She's got some marksman skills, even if she claims she's not good at it. And she's really ready to head out, I feel. More so than she knows. Meanwhile, we have Maximus, a young member of the Brotherhood of Steel who is now going to be serving under Knight Titus, taking the role, or rather being given it, after his fellow aspirant Dane was injured. They were really gruesomely injured in their foot and leg when someone snuck razor blades into their boot. And there's kind of a did they do it thing with Maximus. It's like it could have been Maximus, but it also might have been one of those asshole bullies. It's so hard to tell, because the thing is, if it does end up being revealed that it was Maximus, I 100% believe it. And I believe that I honestly believe that if he did do it, it wasn't out of any hatred for Dane. It was out of pure jealousy. Because it's very clear that when he wasn't chosen originally, he was upset. Like, he was really railing into that toilet out of anger, screaming his head off. He was just not in a good place, because it's like he's given everything to the Brotherhood since he was 4 or 5 years old. He was raised by the Brotherhood. This has been his entire life and everything to him. Now, whether or not that's a good thing is a completely separate story, because the Brotherhood of Steel are, let's be honest, kind of fucked up. They're a pseudo-religious piece of shit organization, to put it simply, who basically have a very high and mighty attitude towards things. They claim they're trying to, preserve the past, the pre-war technology and everything. But let's be honest, that's not really their main goal. Their main goal is control. Their main goal is power. They want to be the top dogs. And they hate anything and everything that threatens that. They are also exceptionally just bigoted and racist and terrible in a lot of ways. They are just very much not the good guys. There's not even any subtlety about it. They're just not. So it's going to be interesting to see Maximus have to learn about this and discover this. I wonder how long it's going to take for all of our characters to come together. I assume Lucy and the Ghoul are going to come together first, and Maximus is probably going to come together shortly after. But we'll see. I don't know exactly how this is going to go. I don't know what the story is. I haven't heard any spoilers, so luckily I'm good on that front. But let's talk about the ghoul. So the ghoul is our final character, and he shows up at the very end of the first episode, but it's made very clear that he actually showed up at the very beginning, because the ghoul is actually Walton Goggins' character from the start. He, when the bombs dropped, was hit with the radiation. We don't know how, we don't know what happened to his daughter, we can presume she's dead. But we don't know exactly what occurred. What we do know is that he was hit with the radiation and his body was ghoulified. Because of that, he has lived this entire time, and we know this one guy was farming him basically. You know, keeping him underground, keeping him irradiated, and digging him up every so often to take chunks off of him, and then put him back down. But these, I guess you could call them raiders, came in and freed him. He ended up killing them, and he's heading to California to take on this job he heard about from them. Just, without them being part of it. So that should be interesting. Lucy, meanwhile, her entire reason for going into the Wasteland was because her vault is part of like this multi-vault kind of collaboration. Their vaults are like right next to each other and interconnected through the vaults themselves. They have specific doors that lead between like Vault 33 and 32, and presumably between 32 and 31. Or maybe all the vaults are just also connected. So maybe 33 also connects to 31. I don't know. But either way, 32 and 33 connect, and the other vault basically invaded them because we find out that the other vault was raiders from the surface. They had gone in, somehow gotten into the vault, killed the inhabitants, possibly eaten them. There's kind of a hint that they might actually be cannibals. But the point either way is that they killed them and then impersonated them. And so when they got into Vault 33, they started, attacking and killing and everything there too. So shit's been going down. And apparently their leader is someone big because people know of her. And even beyond that, she seems to know the father, the overseer of 33, and Lucy, who is Lucy's father, and Lucy. She even says that Lucy looks just like her mother, which is very interesting. Raises a lot of questions to me. I'm very, very interested to see where all that goes, though. So she's out of the vault now because she is going to search for her father, who was taken by the raiders. And she kind of left on her own with some help from her cousin Chet and her brother. They didn't end up going. Chet wanted to, but she, ended up tranking him so he wouldn't. And the brother just didn't want to go. But he did help her escape nonetheless. Against the wishes of the others in the vault, who basically, it's admitted that they wanted the power for themselves, and so they didn't really want to find the overseer, the father. So yeah, that's interesting. Also, the one woman, Barb, I think her name is, with the fro and everything. She's the same actress who plays Blind Al in the Deadpool movies. That was pointed out in other reactions I saw, and I looked it up, and it's like, yeah, that's I believe her name is Leslie Uggams. It's like that is her. That is straight up her. So she's in this series, and then she's gonna be in Deadpool and Wolverine, coming out this summer. It's like, hell yeah, girl, get it. Like, just get those amazing roles. She had a very small role here. I don't know if that'll be expanded. I don't know how much we would check in with the vault. Well, we'll just have to see on that. But, like, people pointed that out in the first episode reactions and everything. And I think only one other person besides me, knew the brother from Hannah Montana. I think only one other reactor noticed that, that I saw at least. Um, it kind of sucks, but it's like at least I'm not alone, you know. At least I'm not alone in knowing Moises Arias was from Hannah Montana. There was someone else. I don't remember who it was at this moment, though. Everyone is gushing over Walton Goggins, though, and rightly so. Like, Walton Goggins is amazing in everything he's in. He was great as Matthias in the Tomb Raider movie, the Alicia Vikander one specifically, I should specify. The one that was based off of the Tomb Raider reboot games. The newest Tomb Raider movie, you could also say that. But yeah, he's great in like the Tarantino movies where he's usually kind of just a piece of shit idiot. He's just awesome. He's a great actor, and he really got to show his chops in that first episode, especially with the cold open. Like, just the scene alone when the bomb is dropping, the first bomb, and you see as it changes from what he thinks is just like fire, like a smoke from a fire, to seeing the mushroom cloud forming. You see his face very subtly drop from confusion to pure fear. It is the most brilliant expressive acting I think I've seen in a long ass time. It is so good. It is such a great shot. It just, every time I've seen it now, because I've watched the episode multiple times because of these reactions. Every time I've seen it now, it's just so fucking good. It's just an amazing, amazing performance from him. So I'm very excited to see more of what he does as the ghoul as well, because he was pretty badass in that closing scene. Also, apparently, the leader of those raiders who dug him up was Bubba from Forrest Gump, the actor who played Bubba in Forrest Gump. That was pointed out as well by a lot of other reactions. I'm like, oh my god, you're right. That is absolutely him. It's like, oh, I did not expect that one. It's just wild, and there was some other actors in this that were pointed out for being in other things, but no one else that I would like really recognize. Um, those were the big ones that people pointed out. But yeah, that's just such a wild thing. I just never considered it, but that was definitely him. So that's really fun. That's really fun. I wonder how many other actors in this we're gonna see. But it seems like for the most part, everybody's kind of going after the same thing right now. We have Lucy going after the Raiders who, took her father. She's kind of the odd one out because Maximus with Knight Titus are going after this target, this old guy and a dog. And the ghoul, that was the bounty that he was told about by these raiders, because apparently this guy escaped the Enclave and everything, and has some like big information or something, is kind of like a threat, so they put out like a hit on him. And the Enclave is like this, it's basically the government of the United States in a post-apocalyptic kind of way. It's basically the government of the United States became the Enclave, and it's just this is what is left of the original government. They still think they're in charge. Yada yada. That I believe that's correct. Again, like I said before, I've seen all of Fallout 4, and I've played some of Fallout 3, seen a little more than I've played, but I've played some of it. And I've played a very tiny amount of Fallout New Vegas and never seen anyone else play any of it. I do have it on Steam though, so maybe I'll give it another go. Because I think I can actually play it on Steam. It takes a lot of like CP and stuff, CPU and stuff, but I think I technically can play it. I just can't stream it because I think it like starts to lag real bad if I'm doing both at once, trying to run OBS and that at once. And unfortunately, New Vegas isn't available to buy on the PS5. The only ones I could buy on PS5 would be Fallout 4 or 76. And unfortunately, you need to have PS Plus, a subscription to that to play 76 because you can't play online without PS Plus. And I don't have that because I don't have the money to do a monthly subscription to that. So, yeah. Um, and I'm not going to get Fallout 4 because, again, I've seen all of that played by Steven Plays. So, Steven George of Steven Plays, I should say. But yeah, so I might play Fallout New Vegas or try to play it a little more on my own time. We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, though, uh, we've been going through these afterthoughts long enough. So, just to let you know, there is a lot of other great content on this channel. Every day of the main week, Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions that we post every single day. We also do YouTube reactions on Monday, which are just donation rewards mainly that viewers and subscribers such as yourself send in to me. Those are posted every Monday as well. And every Saturday and Sunday, we do movie reactions. They're recorded earlier in the week, but posted on the weekend just to make sure that every day has something going on for it. And we also have Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 currently being posted as a Let's Play on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, a lot of great content on the channel and something for everyone, really. A lot of diversity and everything, too. So, I hope there's something that can interest you, something that appeals to you, and hopefully you stick around for more than this if this is your introduction to me. And if you've been here for a while, well, I'm glad you've stuck around. So, that being said, thank you all so much as always for tuning in. Let's get this going. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, we do redirect all of our reactions. We have to do it just because of YouTube's copyright system, just to remain safe, to avoid strikes, to avoid any kind of issues like that. And the upside to this is that all of you, no matter who you are, gets to see the full reaction for free. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything for it. No Patreon, no nothing. You get the full reaction down in the link below. And after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode, as well as just my general thoughts on what happened and how it might affect the story going forward. So that all being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, yeah, I'm just excited to see where this goes. So for now, I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I am really, really glad the dog survived. Like, when he pulled out the knife and stabbed the dog and you heard the yelp and everything, it bothered me. It genuinely did. It's just like I said, that kind of shit really does, like, affect me. And it's like, it's partially just because, I love dogs. Dogs are awesome, and hearing a dog yelp like that when being, like, killed freaks me out. It's the sound. It's so upsetting on such a visceral level. But it's also like when like we're made to grow attached to the dog. Like, we have the cold open in this episode, making us grow attached to this dog, and the doctor as well to a degree. And ironically enough, it was the doctor who died and not the dog. Um, the dog actually ended up surviving. The ghoul is using him to track. I can just imagine when they like find the body and everything. That's gonna be upsetting. The dog's gonna be so sad, and I'm just gonna be upset. That shit bothers me, you know, because the dog and him were so attached. He was like so protective. Uh, the dog was so protective over him too, and it's just like, um, we also saw the mutated bear and everything, which was insane in this episode. Getting to see the fight and how it basically took out Titus. Though Max refusing to stimpak him is what really did him in. And Max kind of taking on the role and basically using the idea of like, well, if I, you know, achieve the goal and bring back the guy, it's like, then all is good, right? Well, that's not happening anymore. Oh. So he's definitely not going to be able to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. So there's that. He kind of has already started to see how the Brotherhood is kind of fucked up just through Knight Titus. And how shitty he was. Oh my. Excuse me. I knew that was coming. Ugh. Excuse me. But yeah, it's like, I don't know if he's going to see even more of that. I don't know how this is going to go. Lucy, meanwhile, is just kind of getting used to how fucked up the Wasteland is. A far cry different from Vault 33, where she's used to. Just having to deal with all of this shit she's seen. And all of these, like, crazy people. Her first encounter with a ghoul and whatnot. And so, yeah. Very intense. But she's willing to go wherever it takes and do whatever it takes to reach her father. So, you gotta give her that much. And meanwhile, the ghoul's part in this is just tracking the bounty and doing whatever he can to do so. Shoots the guy's leg off, which, Jesus, fuck. I'm kind of wondering now. So, I'm wondering if... I actually thought of this after I ended the reaction. The doctor made it come across like only his head is needed for Moldaver, right? In the cold open, we saw him inject something into his neck. What if that wasn't a tracker? What if that was some kind of information? Some kind of like, I don't know, computer chip or something that has information that's really important. He injected it into himself, and maybe that's why he's, you know, a fugitive in the first place. And he basically stole that information. And he's trying to get it out there. And that's what Moldaver wants with him. She wants the information. So if Lucy just brings the head, that's the information that she needs. And that's a big bargaining chip for Moldaver. That's what I'm guessing. It has to do with that injection, which, by the way, that was another thing that freaked me out. Like, I knew he was going to do it, but that giant needle thing, when he actually plunged it into his neck, it, like, I cringed so goddamn hard. Like, every like, I knew it was coming too, but every like muscle in my body rebelled against me at that moment. I was in pain. I was just like so upset, like physically upset at that. It's just like, ugh. I can handle some needles and stuff in certain shows, even though I'm not a big fan of needles. But something that massive and everything, just like driving it into your neck, like the neck is sensitive, man. I'm not okay with that. It's just like Jesus, that was hard to watch in a different way than it was hard to watch the dog, as we thought at the time, get killed, but still. So, at least for now, the ghoul isn't joining forces with our other heroes. They've crossed paths, but they're on completely different sides. Maximus and Lucy are obviously still split up at this moment, but they definitely are more on a similar side to each other, with Maximus helping Lucy out and everything. But there's still a question of things on how it's going to go from here. And then there's the mystery of Moldaver, the mystery of how this doctor knew everything about Lucy, even down to who she was. So many questions. And it just continues to further the mystery that we're going with this series. But yeah, this was another strong episode. Really, really delving into the Wasteland element of this, like even from all angles. Like with all of our main characters having to deal with the Wasteland. Like even so much as like you saw through Maximus, he stopped the one guy from attacking and killing the other. And then you find out after that the guy who was being attacked had fucked one of the other guy's chickens. And it's like, why? Why would you even do that? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And apparently this guy sells serums and all, as we saw as well. You had Lucy come across this guy who was trying to make a water purifier but kept putting sand in it. It's like, what do you think you're trying to do here, my dude? Like, do you think this is going to help anything? You can't purify water if you don't put water in the purifier. Putting sand in it doesn't do anything. Like, what? He seemed kind of out of it, though, to be fair, if we're honest. And we see, like, obviously all of this come to head in Philly, this city here, this junk town, that seems to be full of basically a bunch of reprobates and whatnot. We have the old woman there from the trailer. We have the like scene of her like noticing that Lucy's the vault dweller and everything. Like the stuff that we had seen in the trailer, and we get to see like more of the action of the scene where like Lucy shoots the ghoul and everything. A lot of stuff that's obviously just expanded on. Yeah, pretty darn interesting. Again, a lot of this sets up the Wasteland in this episode. I think that's like kind of a big aspect of this episode. We had the first episode, which set up the characters, their motivations, what they're about and everything. And the second episode shows them experiencing the Wasteland and setting up the Wasteland as an overall setting. And while furthering the mystery elements and the lore and everything. As well as just showing us some more gruesome violence and stuff. Also, the mute bear was, like, insane. Because it's like, bears are pretty fucking terrifying just as is. Like, bears are massive, and they're also fucking scary. Like, those things can kill you so easily. And it's like, this dude was, like, mauled and everything while wearing this power armor. This extremely protective power armor, and still got fucked up to the point where he died. This stim pack would have probably saved him, but he died while armored because this mute bear is just fucking terrifyingly insane. That's freaky. That's genuinely scary. Also, there were obviously just a lot of like references and stuff, of course, in this. Like the iguana on a stick, I think, is a food item in the games and everything, for example. And of course, you see like the bobblehead and everything again. All kinds of iconography like that. Even the dog technically is iconography with the series because of like dog meat and stuff. So there is even that too. So yeah, a lot of little fun notes to the games here. The Brahmin was another one. Seeing the Brahmin in there, um, really interesting. Just genuinely really interesting. Um, yeah, another really great episode. A little shorter than the last one, but that's fine. That's fair. The first episode really went hard and needed to introduce the characters and everything. So yeah, the episodes are gonna vary, obviously, but as long as they're still good, I mean, I'm fine with this runtime, this general area of runtime. I think that it fits with this series. You definitely want as much as you can squeeze in. And season two is already confirmed. Like, season two has already been greenlit by Amazon. So, that's exciting in and of itself. Because so far, with these first two episodes, this is fantastic. Like, this is absolutely just so far on the level of the Last of Us series, which is huge praise. Because the Last of Us series is, like, one of, if not the best video game adaptive series out there. Obviously, movies kind of are in a separate category, but in terms of just live action video game adaptations, it's still one of the best no matter what. And the fact that this, at least just within the first two episodes, is on that level is impressive as hell. And I think I heard something along the lines of, like, I think the creators of this, the people working on it, I think said something like that the Last of Us series and its success, it like kind of inspired the work they put into this in some way. And that this series uh, is like as big as it is because of what The Last of Us did first. And if that is the case, I don't know how like the filming and the planning and everything went for these, but if that is the case and this was like, had some level of inspiration from the the Last of Us and all, I'm hoping that this kind of thing continues to inspire more future shows, because there's supposedly a Horizon Zero Dawn series in the works, which I'm almost finished with the game of that, and I'm just saying, if they nail that, that's gonna be amazing. If they nail a Horizon series, that's gonna be amazing. And there is that rumor floating around that Sadie Sink might play Aloy in that, which would be a phenomenal choice. Sadie Sink's a phenomenal actress, and she would be a great Aloy. I think she would absolutely nail that character. But I really, really think that if that series takes inspiration from stuff like The Last of Us and Fallout, I think it'll be just as successful. But it has to have, the right writers, the right costume designers, actors, everything like that, of course. But I think that they could pull this off if they get everything done that they need and take it as seriously as the creators of both of these shows have. It's definitely a big wish, because I've really gotten into Horizon. So hey, a lot of hopes there with that one. But yeah, so like I said, another great episode in the books, and hopefully it just continues down this path. I'm very interested in this mystery at this point. With Moldaver and the doctor and everything, I'm very interested to see where this goes. Also, it's just fun. Like, this series is just a lot of fun to watch. It's exciting. It's pulse pounding. It's insane in the best way. So yeah, very excited for more. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode, though. Obviously, with no spoilers. I know this entire series came out at once, but we're doing one episode at a time, so no spoilers, please. But that being said, we do have a lot of other great content on the channel for you to check out. If you're new to the channel and just here for Fallouts, check out some of the other great content we have. And if you've already been on the channel, thanks for continuing to support. Every day of the week, Monday through Friday specifically, we have a bunch of different series reactions that we post and upload. And on Mondays, we also do YouTube content, mostly as donation rewards from viewers and subscribers like you. Those are posted every Monday. Every Saturday and Sunday, we do movie reactions. They're recorded earlier in the week, but they're posted on Saturdays and Sundays, just so that every day has some kind of content uploaded. We also have Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 every Tuesday and Thursday. Really enjoying that so far. Great game, and hopefully it continues to be just as good. A lot of more content coming in the future. A lot of great things changing up. But there's always something for everyone. So hopefully you enjoy the content we have. That all being said, thank you as always so much for tuning in. And like I said, if you have any thoughts, please leave in the comments below. Just no spoilers. But all of that being said, thank you so much once again. I'm going to keep thanking you. Thank you again. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.